Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live!
Hello, everyone. We are finally back in Sector Tavia, a live-streamed campaign in the Lancer universe. My name is Andrew, and I'll be your game master for this Final Show Films campaign. I'm joined by John.
John? Alan Declan? Wrong spot. Thanks, everybody. Videos.
Can we be heard? Is
Oh,
the
no,
second
they use
question.
you.
It's good to check. I
No, Andrew asked.
oh, did he? Okay.
Yep, never hurts to check.
Drake.
Would it be considered irony that I didn't hear the question of could it be heard?
You probably. Oh yeah, and I'm piloting the GMS. Bang.
And William.
I am William, and I am playing Vanish, piloting the GMS Everest Yamitachi.
And Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm playing Waylon Harrell, pilot of the GMS Everest Wager.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Vereen Drakton, aka Victor, who's piloting the GMS Everest next.
And when we last left off, our heroes had been informed by the ship that they had successfully boarded and claimed as their own. They had been informed by the ships in HP that stars, it has been ages and I didn't write myself a recap for this. I'm not smart. As I recall, wow, all of the words.
You could always do the thing that Val does and make us do.
I mean, if you are better at words right now than I am, by all means, go ahead.
When last we left off, so Central had told us that there was tasks sector and defense against the invading hordes had mostly agreed to do.
Mental
various
of order.
reasons. What was that?
Mental of order.
Yes,
That's what they're calling themselves.
One of which was to stop a battleship from Everhard. In plans, how we're going to. He had made it to the mission planning phase, at which point, felt that we. Cutting in and out on stream. Really? I'm cutting in, like audio wise, I'm cutting in and out? Is it better now? Or is the stream cutting? Sorry, no, somebody in chat was like.
We have people in chat.
I'm going to. That's going to be hard. Sorry, I was about to start listening to the stream, but then that would have made chat.
Would have made the stream, hear the stream,
Hear the
hear the
stream.
stream, hear the stream.
Make it louder.
I've installed that update for OBS, but I haven't figured out how it works yet. Let's drop the audio bitrate. Maybe that'll help. My voices. So is it my voice specifically or everyone else's voice? Well, I've dropped the audio bitrate. Because I'm as close to my microphone as I can be, and I have no, from my end and from their end, there's no dropping. So I'm assuming it's probably the audio bitrate. You think I fixed it? Okay, yeah. It was probably the bitrate was too high. Okay. What I was going to show off. We had been given this very fancy encounter planner. Use. Oh. Sorry, I'm still leave that there so y'all can see. We're also using a new system for those watching at home. So yeah. So we get to plan our first so our first fight was encounter 1, which we determined. We basically what we've got so far, this is also for Cody's benefit, is that we are going to do a stealthy pod drop on top of the battleship in question.
Infiltrate.
What was that?
Infiltrate.
Yes, we're going to do a stealthy pod drop on top of the battleship. At which point we will plant breaching charges on the hull. Either I don't know if we ever finished the vote yet. There are two options as to where we're going to plant the breaching charges. Are either over the bridge, where the commander of the ship is going to be, or over the engines.
Reactor and sabotage it.
Yeah. So Drake's take on it is bust into the command center, take out the commander so he can't escape while we're dealing with the engines, and then work our way to the engines. Vanish's take on the plan is go to the engines first so we can sabotage the engines and make the ship blow up, and if the commander gets away, he gets away. And Victor had voiced an opinion, but I don't remember what it was. So we'll pick up there, I guess.
I don't know. I've never done one of these before.
And it was generally the arguments were like the arguments were, this is from Drake's perspective, this is a highly militarized cult, basically. Which is to say that the order of command is very important. So you take out a commander, you take out a large section of their unit of their military force. Whereas Vanish's argument is that this battleship is the most powerful thing in this section of the galaxy right now. They can't very easily bring more in because they've cut off the sector from outside galaxy. Taking out that pile of guns and making sure it goes down is more important.
And also in the particular battle situation rep we've been given, this ship is the one with the guns to siege the planet that the battle fleet is heading towards.
Yes.
The other ships in this battle fleet that they've lined out are not big enough to siege a planet.
And if we start with the commander, there's not necessarily a guarantee that we'll make it to the engine because of the forces in the
Yeah, they could just.
I think my opinion's changed since last week. I think last week I was on the side of let's take out the commander, but now I've changed and been like,
That's
no,
fine.
let's just blow it up. That seems everything is going to be armed with the bridge.
So once we're inside, or is it mechs or us inside?
Once you're inside, you will still be in your mix.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
still be
capital ship is big enough on the inside for like small industrial scale mix to navigate with some degree of ease.
Also, Andrew,
Okay.
you're very quiet. I don't know if it's
That's because my mic is Not on my desk. Is that any better?
That's much better. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's going to pick up my keyboard if I need to type anything.
No worries.
Is there a way to get it not on your desk, but also closer to you?
I don't have a means to hang it from the ceiling, unfortunately.
Gotta keep...
Yeah, I will once we get out of lockdown. A thought occurs. Before we get into the mission planning again, Cairo, what was your downtime action?
It was to gather information on the order of mantle. Mantle of
Mantle
order. Yeah.
Order of mantle.
Yeah, the order
They're
of mantle.
really big
those
about
guys.
cloaks, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're comfortable.
Or fireplace pieces. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just
I
took a
have-
sidestep into Ruby.
Yeah. I have that since I already made the roll before.
I don't remember what your total was.
I think it was like 19. Let me go back to roll 20.
I believe it was the like you get what you want, but you either leave a trace or do
Yeah,
something
no.
else.
Yeah, I rolled an 11, so I left evidence because I have left evidence of my rummaging, clear evidence of my
Oh, boy.
rummaging.
Well, that's good.
And just for the notes, it says, tell later, mantle of order.
Right. What do you learn about these people? There's an interesting question that I didn't think to answer.
I think you said much the same thing last time.
I mean, I have answers for everything else that people asked about.
Yes,
So
see that, William.
I'm just fucking around.
Are those the only two areas that we should consider breaching?
Well, those are the
ones.
those
yeah,
those.
sorry.
Yeah. No,
Those
right. I should.
What should you do?
I should turn on the voice mod.
Oh, there you go. Sounds different now.
Yeah, it sounds a little higher pitched.
Definitely higher.
I don't know why.
Darth Alvin.
Of the
Hang on.
The chipmunk Sith.
Switch over to the radio, demon.
And then switch back over here.
still high pitched.
Weird.
Slightly higher pitched.
Bring the pitch down then.
Is that where it needs to be?
That's where it was.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So
Anyway,
so what Tyro, what you're able to gather, it's a little difficult to like filter out. Like, there's a lot of threads going up on OmniNet boards about, holy shit, this entire sector's under attack. Like, you can see addresses coming from all manner of systems close by.
Okay.
But what you are able to gather from by filtering out any in-sector traffic, you do still have access to the rest of the OmniNet.
Oh,
listen.
I know why it was doing that. Is because I was using the wrong mod. I was using Evil AI versus.
the doctor.
There you go.
There you go. There was a thing that John didn't mention. The blink gate at Prophet Station has been disabled entirely. The local gates are still functional. The Mantle are using them to travel throughout the sector and maintain their fronts. But what you are able to dig up from outside of Sector Tavia is that there have been attempts previously to isolate and contain this mismatched band, but because they're broken up into a bunch of different companies and organizations, layers within layers. Whenever a group is found, they typically don't or can't reveal more information about their superiors, the higher ups giving them orders. Yeah, you're able to confirm this from a couple of different reports from just
So, like,
people
Still
talking
show
about
up in systems occasionally.
a group that claims to be allied with them
Okay.
will show up every once in a while. Usually they don't assign like a full fleet to one like smaller systems. They'll send like one company.
Okay.
And then at the end, as you're preparing to close up your searches, not thinking about leaving a trail, because, well, it's the Omninet and people are going to be looking for this anyway.
Yeah.
I apologize for those watching if you suddenly got Andrew doubled there for a second. I figured out how to use this new plugin I've got, which means that I can turn on things that I can hear in the background now. The stream and listen to sort of monitor the audio coming from there without it bleeding through to you.
Huh, neat. But yeah, as you're closing up your session, Tyro, your datapad chimes. You've received a new message from an unknown sender. Well, two messages actually. One from Vanish and one from an unknown sender.
Okay. Quick run a scan to make sure it doesn't have any viruses.
Nope.
All right, and then
No threats found.
okay. Gotta update my virus library. And then I'll open up the unknown sender.
It plays an audio message automatically when you open it.
Congratulations, pilots. You have been chosen. Access is yours, as long as you can keep it.
The message promptly unfolds a couple of attachments that detail mix schematics. 2-minute tour license.
Nice. Yeah, he pores over that for the next couple hours, and then he'll read Vanish's message.
It's a location detail for a safe house and warnings about the traps out front.
Okay.
Yeah, there's tripwires and cameras and such to be aware of.
How do you even get one of those guns mounted there?
Don't worry about it.
So now we all convene, talk about plans.
Yes. The address leads to a back alley with a single door at the far end. Since you are aware of the tripwires, you're able to avoid them quite easily, or ineptly as you so desire.
Carefully.
I also have a couple of things to hand out to people because they asked about them.
Take that unique, rare version of a hand. Custom.
No. This is some information about things that will hopefully help you plan a bit easier. So in the tab that looks like an open book, it's the journal. John, you should now have hostile craft weapon system, and Mara, you should have reactor cores and the breaking thereof.
Okay.
I do.
Aha.
Oh, did I get any more information from the bot that I had running?
Not yet. It is dutifully maintaining its searches.
Where did I get this information from? I've forgotten. Did I ask
You
Central
had-
for it or?
You had some contacts at the local IPSN place.
Right. So I'm assuming I get a ping on my data pad or something.
Yeah.
All right,
It's coming
boys.
from one of
Oh, go ahead.
It's coming from one of the higher ups in the local IPSN hierarchy.
All right, boys and girls. Looks like we've got some intel. Go over whatever. I go over to whatever beer-laden table we've been talking over.
That would be Shrike's war table. He will collect the parts he's been working on and just move them elsewhere.
Put it down.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a. I don't know if we have like the Iron Man bring things up or if we have a CRTV that I can plug it into. But whichever scale of technology we're working on.
Shrike wants this to be portable, so you've basically got like it's a desktop underneath a large monitor built into the table.
Plug it into the table. All right. So according to my contacts at the IPSN, we've got. This is that all the hostile craft that have been detected it was actually within. I think I had asked for within all of Sector Tavia, but I guess this is only just this that we've got so far.
Yeah, this is all that they could get.
Okay. So at least in the Everhart system, been detected by the transit gates scanners before they were shut down or occupied. We got four Mur class Muir.
I honestly don't know. So I'm going to say, yeah.
4 Mir class battleships, 8 Amazon class line carriers filled with people pissing in bottles, 12 Onapordum class frigates, 4 Bakanawa class frigates, 8 Minakawa class frigates, and no fighter wings, though they were probably housed in the capital ships and probably weren't scanned. Looks like the battle group moving into orbit over Everhart is the Silent Watcher, one of the Muirs, the Labyrinth, B Team, and Old Reliable. All three of which are Onapordums, and the opening argument, which is the Minakawa, which I'm assuming is the battleship.
No, the Silent Watcher is the battleship.
Oh, the Silent Watcher is the battleship? Okay, so the Muir is the biggest one. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Now I see it. I read it out loud and it didn't click. So the Silent Watcher.
The Minakawa is very much a transport ship.
Got it.
More than anything else.
It's Moor, by the way, because it comes from the Scottish word for moorland.
Huh.
Moor. The Moor class battleship.
I once had a classmate with the same name, but it was pronounced Muir.
I assume that one was from a different language of origin.
I don't know. At any rate, I have now put that into everyone's journal so you can all read it.
Do I have any innate information, like sort of just and knowledge of Moor class battleships?
You probably had to break into one previously for a job. You would probably know that the best place to break into one from the outside is going to be somewhere along the middle of the hull rather than at the extreme ends of the bridge and the reactor.
So this already sort of puts a kink in our plans. These battleships are heavily armored around the around the vulnerable points, the head and the back. We're gonna have to break in somewhere in the midships, regardless. So,
where the do we have any? Can I look up schematics for those class? To see like where like a cargo bay or reserve, not reserve tank area because you wouldn't need that, but like even basically cargo base.
There would be one major cargo bay. Though Central has already pinpointed this as an extraction route.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get do we have like regular schematics of the armor plating of a Moore class battleship that I can just compare to our explosive ordnance and see where we can breach through?
Sorry, run that by me again. Got a little
Can
lost.
can I get a scan like of a regular Moore class schematic to see where our charges can punch through?
Okay.
If they're too heavily armored for the helm and the reactor to punch through, where can we go through in general? And are they too heavily armored for our charges to punch through the reactor core and the bridge?
I mean, that's what I
need to
said.
I need to figure out the right words. Darn it. Why brain?
Corridors. Living quarters. Western Revolutionary.
Corridors is probably the best descriptor.
Access time.
They have a
Yeah,
viewing port.
Green room.
a specialized. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say one good thing about this report is, at very least, the battle group that we're intercepting, the battleship may have fighters on it, but the other ones that are listed as engaging with that are not the Bakanawa or
It's a
Other
Minakawa.
ones
It's a
that
Minakawa and an Unaportum.
And 3 unaportums.
Yeah.
yeah,
3 FKS Unaportums and 1 Minakawa.
which according to this at least are not the fighter carriers.
No.
So
Indeed.
in
The
our fleeing from this, we should be safer.
the majority of fighter craft that you might encounter will almost definitely come from the GMS Moore.
Yeah, no. They'll likely get reinforcements from the Minakawa from the argument, and maybe a few strafing runs from the Bakanawa, but most of our enemies are probably going to be already on board the Moore.
As to Vanish's question, the best place to punch through is probably going to be amidships, as mentioned, but you would likely reach some manner of maintenance area. Sized well enough for mix that you currently have to fit through easily enough, because battleships have to be able to fit like industrial scale mechs, or more specifically, mechs of your size fitted for industrial scale work.
Yeah.
So
Power lifters.
yeah, basically. It's also worth noting that the maintenance area will almost certainly have some manner of diagnostic stations, so you could easily establish an uplink to Central from there.
And I need to reach some sort of
That was the other reason why we wanted to go to the. Might have wanted to head to the bridge first, because the bridge is going to have access codes for transit gate that the order has locked down. This will be a very good chance to get those. But if we head to the reactor first, they might wipe those, or they might just leave Commander.
True. If we're going after the reactor, I need time. There's a couple different ways to do it. but basically, you can either slowly stop coolant from going in and then it explodes, or you can flood it with coolant and that damages it a whole lot. So one of those two options. But
Quicker.
either way, you have to give it time to work, and
Want this broken,
They-
not we want this irreparable, not fixable, right?
yep.
So probably the leaking coolant one to fuse all the.
If we only use one of our breaching charges on the hull, we can put I have a second one. We can put a second breaching charge on.
Total reactor meltdown would probably disrupt the rest of the ships in the area. If we can be gone by the time it goes off, that ship will drop like a sun.
Yeah, but if we leave it with a long enough fuse, they can put it out. Unless we kill the commander.
Or lock every door to the reactor.
That'll get cut through eventually. We're already doing that.
Other potential is, well, depending on how fast we can do things. If we cut, there's going to be a backup on a ship like this to the engine. But if we cut that connection, then that ship is drifting dead in the water and doesn't have a way to communicate.
I'm seeing it is that we actually have several different critical points on this fight, any of which being missed would make things harder down the line. Prioritize. So let's go ahead and figure out what everybody wants and where we want to put that in priority. Otherwise, we'll just circle around this whole discussion for the rest of the day.
If we cut the connections to the backup, then we know where the commander is heading. They're going to be heading toward the escape pods. That also gives us enough time to do whatever we want to get that reactor to blow.
Do I know where the escape pods are on a ship like this, Andrew?
Yes, they would probably be. Why do I keep talking in hypotheticals? Like, this is information you can gather. Yes, you know that they would be in the. There is at least one set on every deck just in case. But they are all amidships, so that as a ship turns to move into what's the word I'm looking for? Turns to general practice for a ship to launch its escape pods is to essentially turn and broadside a planet with them. So they're all in the sides.
Okay, so we're going to be coming into the midships. Is where the pods are going to be. We can take out some of them on our way through with the breaching charge. We can at least cut down some amount of their options for escape pods. Cut the engines as best we can. Try our best to figure out a way to funnel the commander to an escape pod we want. We can potentially have him closer to the engines, take him out while closer to the engines, so we have less people to fight through. If anybody's going to have a copy of the codes that, even if they wipe the codes from the computers, he will have a copy of them on himself.
They may change, but I like this idea better than fighting our way through a whole swath of the ship, which is what we'd have to do if we start or ended at the engines or the bridge.
Would I know what kind of operating systems that these types of ships might use? Are they similar to like what a land mechs or military?
This is a GMS class vessel, so it's probably using the same shit that's in your mech right now.
Capital ships typically have strong electronic warfare suites, as a side
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
And if the ship has an NHP that handles e-warfare, they will personally direct efforts to repel you. If it doesn't, they will have to rely on automated systems.
Yeah.
So standard GMS hardware, but if the ship has an NHP or if it doesn't, things
Yeah.
might be easier or more difficult.
Okay.
The ship has an NHP. Good luck trying to
Yeah.
outthink an NHP on cyber warfare.
Unless we got another one on hand. Central's flying the ship, so.
I could try to fuck with as many systems as I can and just make life in general difficult for them while we're on board and they try to figure out what's going on. That might buy us some time to get some
Possible.
pieces in place.
Yeah, easily
I would-
possible.
I would guess either the Muir or the Minakawa has an NHP because the other ships they're sending with this group do not. I'm guessing just because they're older.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the trade baronies. Older technology. They might be able to retrofit an NHP to it, but I don't know if it would work very well.
Shrike looks up from where he's seated in the corner. 5. Got this. If I'm thinking correctly, which I probably am, then doubtless you'll be dealing with a guy by the name of Lockpick. You won't want an NHP under his command. You're thinking the NHP is smarter than him, and he won't like that.
So better nods that there's no NHP. How do you know this individual?
Clashed with him in his before. It was planet side about 10 years back. My time. He's a clever bastard, and he knows it. Like as not, he runs that sergeant pattern unit your NHP identified.
All right, well then.
We do actually have a chance of handling this ship electronically.
Seems likely.
First step, get into it. Bust in through the side. See if we can bust in through some of the drop pod areas inoperable. The maintenance area. See what we can get access to. Once we get access to the internals of the ship, see what we can fuck with. See if we can figure out how to track where the commander's at, and also get us a path to the reactor. Step 3 question mark. Step 4 kill everybody.
Seems like a solid plan to me.
Much of
If need be, we can divide our forces. I am experienced in single elimination of specified targets.
Yeah. Does leave you alone, though. And these two aren't quiet, I say, pointing at Victor and Tyro.
None of us are quiet. We're big fuck off mechs.
Alone, hunting the captain trying to flee while the rest of you handle the bulk of their forces.
have a death wish.
Finish. Lockpick's not going to be running around on his own. You know that.
No. However, I don't think if the captain tries to flee the ship thinking it's going down, he's going to be heading for where the fighting is.
No, that's why we have to make the fighting go to him. Better idea. Rather than you taking him on your own, if it seems like he's going to be diverging, carrying strikes that direct him towards the rest of it.
Whichever you prefer.
Rather not have you get surrounded and blown the fuck up. It's not pleasant.
Need to do some retrofitting.
All right. What do we have? What do we have on time frames? Anybody know how long it's going to take for them to get here?
That seems like information your scanners would have.
They only gave us
Yes.
details. We have a destination. I don't know if I have a time frame. Do I have a time frame?
What do you know about where they are?
Because they took over the gates, thus took over the scanners. So
Yes.
this is old date.
Well, according to the old data, the 3 Onoportums and the opening argument, the first of this battle group to arrive. The Silent Watcher came in later. From this, you can easily draw the conclusion that the troops you encountered previously before acquiring your ship in Central likely came from the opening argument.
Okay.
Um,
So the opening argument's probably already in system.
yes, if the Silent Watcher were here right now, the world would know.
The the opening argument's already in system. Silent Watcher's on the way. It came in later than the rest, and they didn't wait. So we should probably get prepared and as quickly as possible start heading towards the gates. Get them on an intercept. Get them on an intercept before they get here. So, how's everybody feeling the plan? All the confidence I was looking for.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
It's a plan, but no plan ever really survives launch.
Hence the question mark for step 3. All right. Let's get ourselves kitted up and get going.
Okay,
Cut to
so
montage.
Smash cut to stage 2, preparation. Build your mechs however you see fit.
We can swap out weapons and stuff.
Yep.
Awesome.
Weapons, systems.
Yeah, because I don't think
Next.
missile racks are going to work really well in tight corridors.
What? No.
So, my refit is probably visible to you because I think you can see my character sheet at this point.
Let me check.
But I am swapping out from the Cyclone Pulse Rifle and a melee weapon to Crawl Rifle, Anti-Material Rifle, and a melee weapon.
Yep, I can see that.
And I'm also putting in my multi-gear maneuver system.
Okay, so I can't update my sheet from Foundry.
That's weird.
Well, maybe I can. Maybe it was just because I had it popped out. Nope. I can remove things, but I can't add things.
If you open your inventory, it'll show you everything that you have available, and you can drop it from your inventory onto your mech sheet.
Where's inventory?
It is like midway up the... Yeah, it's right next to your actions.
View inventory. There we go. That's what I needed. Thank you.
Where is that? I need to find that for me.
Not show me everything.
Should show you everything you have available.
It says I have it says I have an assault rifle, a light nexus, a heavy charge blade, and 6 hand cannons.
And then if you scroll down, you should go to systems. And then if you scroll further down, you should have mods and statuses if you have any.
Do you have access to the compendium? Right-hand side, top right, the book with a little circle on it.
Yes.
So that should have everything.
Okay.
Absolutely everything. Yeah, so you just, they're all in specific folders. So if you open up, say, mech weapon to get the hand cannons,
I can also do is supposedly true.
Supposedly. I guess we'll
You may
find
need
out.
to relog, relog your Foundry login to update it, but
Popping out my heavy charge blade. Or an anti-material rifle.
As a general reminder to everyone that the first encounter will take place in a zero gravity environment. So grab yourself a flight or an EVA system to avoid.
Yeah, when you get when you're in space, you don't usually need the flight system. The EVA will do the job for the most part until you get inside the ship's gravity.
Yeah. In a zero gravity environment, you are typically permanently slowed unless you have a flight or EVA module.
The colonist background, so all of my mechs worked in space.
I believe that falls under the spaceborne talent.
Yeah, one of the talents is like you always have an EVA system equivalent
that's
equipped.
Spaceborne. I don't know if the backgrounds give you any mechanical benefits, do they?
No,
No, I think they're mostly just like details.
Yeah. Either of us can, GMs and players can invoke backgrounds to give accuracy or difficulty on specific roles. But that might not come up often.
Going to swap out. I'll swap out my personalizations. I'm going to lose 2 hit points, but I'll be able to move in space. Actually, if we're landing on the thing, as long as I stay on the ship, do I still have half movement? Or am I still slowed?
Yes, you would be.
Because every time you lift your foot up, if it loses connection, you're threatening to drift. So you have to be very careful with your walking.
Thinking like, do I need these frag grenades and thermal grenades? Yes, I need these frag grenades and thermal grenades. Do I need these turret drones though?
Yeah, sorry, that's the thing that I have is the spaceborne EVA.
They did do a lot of
I'm
work,
gone now.
but they are.
I want to point out, by the way, the sniper rifle isn't an anti-material rifle; it's an anti-materiel rifle, as in like military materiel. It's just designed to break things.
Well, materiel is also people.
Yeah, it's meant to break things.
I don't think that really changes William's statement.
It's not a disintegration gun. It's a big fuck off gun.
See, now I just want to make a homebrew beholder mech with an anti-material rifle. I know someone's already made a beholder.
EVA module will do it for flying.
Yep. EVA module will be fine.
Cool. Oops, that was the wrong button. What did I do? What did I just delete? Shit. That. I need that.
Okay, no, so I really like having that extra 2 hit points. This is what I'm waffling over.
Thrilled to our incredible displays of management.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to rapid burst jump jet system.
Yeah,
That way I
that's
don't.
another option.
That way I don't have a spare. That way I don't have a spare thing, but I have something that'll also work in gravity.
Yeah.
Got a spare point. What can I do?
Opening argument is also the name of one of the abilities I get from one of the talents. The gunslinger talent specifically, which gives you plus accuracy on the first attack roll I make with a ranged weapon. Okay, so I open fang again. It doesn't.
I actually swapped out my rapid burst jump jets for viral logic suite and pattern B hex charges. I swapped out my. Oh, I still got my heavy mount. I swapped out my main mount and my flex mounts. The flex mount now has the hunter killer. Main mount. My mech has arms now. Looks weird. It's holding a thermal rifle, and let me see. What other heavy weapons are there?
Oh, right click on your mech and click import data. Oh wait, no, that only helps if you
No,
import
that's if you have a JSON.
Jason. Where'd you-
Have you tried to log in again?
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Out my jump jet system for EVA module and manipulators again.
On Huelsing.
And I'm keeping my howitzer because I'm attached to it. And taking an autopod instead of the rifle.
Nope, it's not letting me. Oh well. I'll just manually update it for now.
Oh, found it. Go to your
Found it?
pilot.
Uh-huh.
On the top list of bars, one of them is RM4/sync.
Yes, this needs the old and deprecated share codes.
Okay. Well, no, you can also select your character if you've logged in. So if you select your character, so if you've logged in, you can click that drop down and select your character, and then click download. So sync your character, and it syncs
Which
your
should-
mech. All right.
Yeah, because your mech is tied to your character.
Don't have the upload working yet. Can't go back, but you can go down.
Zero rifle.
Got so many things that require loading. But it's okay, because I can reload all of them when I reload. Bam, bam. Reload.
Okay, so what do we do to get the new stuff?
Open your character.
Yep.
On the top bar there, where it says Pilot Tactical, Pilot Abilities, it also says RM4 Sync.
Okay.
Underneath where it says OmniNet Uplink ID, select that drop down and then select your character's name. And then click the button underneath Download. It'll give you a warning, say OK, and then it'll sync. It'll give you a pop-up. It'll give you a notification when it's synced. Everyone sorted. Aside from sync, obviously. That's still wrong. Something, Mara, but we couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said no. It didn't sync, but yes.
Logged in. On Foundry.
Yep. Because I just logged in because I had to. So I don't know why it's not, but it's not. It's okay. I've got
So-
it in CopCon.
Go into RM4
Uh-huh.
and select.
I can't select my character.
So in that drop down, your character doesn't show up.
Nope.
Then you're not logged in.
Okay. Well, I logged in, so I don't know how to.
So go to the game settings in Foundry. Go to the game settings in Foundry.
Okay.
Go to configure settings.
Mm-hmm.
Go to system settings
Sure.
and click log into CompCon
Oh.
and log in there.
Oh.
System. Can't hear you, Andrew.
Son of a witch.
You heard son of a witch. You didn't hear anything that
Oh,
came
man.
before that.
All manner of fancy things to wrangle.
That, Andrew, if you'd like to get us set up for what's happening next.
The next stage is reserves. Does anyone have any?
Does anyone have?
Reserves being
Do anyone got one?
Anyone have
I
one
don't-
what?
reserves. I don't think anyone used their downtime actions to acquire any.
Oh, no.
That said, there are no specific rules governing what counts as reserves and what can be brought on a mission. But if we don't have anything in particular, we can get.
Oh, we have
straight
one
into it.
reserve, which is that spare breaching charge.
Yeah, we have a spare breaking
Ah,
charge.
yes, a spare charge. All right. So, yes, Central has provided one, and you have a spare.
Well, technically, I've got 3 breaching charges, so I would have 4 now. As my BB breach blast charge has 3,
Ah,
like my pattern B hex grenade.
the breaching charge that Central has provided is much larger and fitted with specific means to burrow through capital ship armor.
Excellent.
Let me just look up the sit rep we're working with.
All right, the Pendium does not have the data on my breach charge, so I have to actually go look it up.
Does 30 AP damage to terrain.
Yeah, I feel like 30 AP explosive damage to terrain is enough to get through a hull too.
Ouch.
Possibly. I haven't thought of the mechanical effects of it.
I wonder how that compares. Hang on. It is it is halfway between a stage 1 and stage 2 firing of the Barbarossa's charge rail.
Seems decent.
Stage 3 gets you to 100 AP damage to terrain, so
I mean, stage 3 is designed to take out ships. If we had a Barbarossa, then the problem would be solved.
if we had a Barbarossa, you just sit on top of the stealth on the stealth frigate and just charge the Apocalypse rail and shoot the damn thing out of orbit.
Fortunately, none of you cowards went with the Barbarossa.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't exactly be able to get one at license level 1, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
LL2, baby.
Darn it. All right.
Not with that attitude.
I go steal a Barbarossa. Downtime act. All right. Did you get it sorted out, Mara?
Yep.
I'm now.
Now you're
Missing-
having the issue?
No, I'm having a different issue. My flex mount has disappeared on Foundry.
That's weird. Let me see that.
Oh,
Now I have 2 main weapon mounts and a heavy weapon mount.
Huh.
what'd you...
And the weapon hasn't even changed.
Okay, so did you hit the download button?
Yeah.
What's up with the
There we go.
CompCon?
There we
Now
go.
we got a main flex and heavy.
Gotta hit it again.
Well, now they're just empty slots.
Alright, so which weapons do you have? I'll plug them in.
Uh,
Well, actually, now that they're empty,
Thermal.
now that they're empty slots, go ahead and download again. See what happens. You may have to go hit the manual sync on CompCon too.
it's loading my old loadout.
Okay.
Yeah,
save.
you may need to update the because you can still like the old cloud save system is deprecated, but it's still functional. They're just not updating it anymore, so you may need to just publish your old pilot data and pull it into Foundry.
Or
Uh,
just
yeah, it was-
manually sync your.
I don't think that pulls off your old cloud management because I had to do that as well with the.
Yeah, but I didn't have to put in my old cloud data code once I logged in on Foundry.
let's see if this is
Yeah, because if you log in on Foundry using the figure settings, system settings, log into CompCon, click that, log in, then in your pilot sheet, select your pilot and hit download. It'll download whatever your synced version of your CompCon character sheet. You don't have to input any codes. You may just have to go hit manuals. Da, 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 da. It's
Thing.
sniper rifle. And a big iron.
So there. Oh wait.
my data should be synced now. Same loadout.
And loadout that was loading previously.
My old loadout.
There you go. Go grab your old cloud file and see if that does it.
Yeah, so go to your pilot page on CompCon and hit the gear and hit cloud management old and just hit publish pilot data and then copy that pilot share code over.
Because you.
The service being deprecated just means they're no longer developing it, but it's still functional.
Yeah, probably a hop. App the bit. The Big Iron song is weird.
It's about a Texas Ranger coming into town and shooting a man.
Well, no. It's not about a Texas. It's about a stranger coming into town and getting shot by a Texas Ranger.
No, the actual story is the stranger came into town who was looking for a man called Texas Red.
Oh, right.
He told everyone, by the way, I'm a Texas Ranger. I'm here to take in Texas Red. And he shot Texas
Arizona
Red.
Ranger. He's an Arizona.
Arizona Ranger. Yeah. Arizona Ranger hunting down Texas Red.
Who the
All good.
town of Agua Fria Wrote a stranger one fine day. Oh, it opened. Agua Fria.
You got it
Agua
working?
Fria.
Yeah,
Wrote a
it's working
stranger
now.
one fine.
Brill, are we all good to go?
Yep.
Okay, so. Uh,
Big eye, big eye. Surprised. And rode a stranger with a big iron on his hip. Yeah, mine. We don't know how that's going to happen yet. We don't know what's about to happen. One might say the one that sabotages another person's mech is ruder. No, I think you had specified already. But and there was a roll, and there was a roll, and the roll. Well, no, and the roll was succeeded with a problem, like succeeded with complication or something like that. And so we don't actually know what the complication is. We know what Mara intended. We don't know what it ended up as. Well, so Andrew, you're quiet to the point where our audience can't hear. Apparently, hang on. Oh! I see what the problem is. Hang on. No, I didn't have the levels down. I forgot to put the new audio source on the Roll20 screen. It's there now. I can hear you.
okay. Right. From one technical difficulty to another.
I did a cool thing. Okay, it just I forgot to put it everywhere.
Today's
know.
another tech day. That's just what it is.
Cruel technology.
Yep.
Okay.
As yours glitches out.
Right. So
So-
explain again what happens to my HUD.
So I have changed all of your language settings to be in Esperanto. And all of the colors have been switched around. It's not like a consistent color switch, it's more like random colors. And so you'll have some yellow on red background and yellow on a yellowish green background, and it's just bad. It's
And it's
very
like-
hard to read.
There's like neons and the
Yep.
occasional flashy light.
Mhm.
There is nothing broadcast over the comm link. As I sigh heavily. and adjust settings back, not because I know how to read Esperanto, but because this is a fairly bare bones mech in the first place, and most of the text on the screen is just numbers, which don't change. So it's just like, mostly it's just the colors. The font is hideous, and the colors are different. But it's like...
Everything is in Comic Sans.
Spend like a few minutes here doing this, and this. And I don't say anything over the comm, like reaction whatsoever. No. I want a reaction out of me. Whichever one of these fuckers did it.
Victor.
Yep.
Your mech receives a communique from an unknown sender.
Yep.
It simply has the text Lamau and a file containing the Helvetica font.
Oh God.
All right.
Change someone's fucking mech font to Helvetica. Jeez.
He actually doesn't change the font back because the Comic Sans is easy to read, and so he doesn't actually mind that.
It is. Comic Sans is a great font.
See, she's helping.
Easily readable font. But all the colors get shifted back eventually.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Yep.
So, as you're all hooking into the mechs, booting up, making sure everything's loaded and ready, Central engages your ship's cloaking device and makes a beeline for the Silent Watcher. It is a much larger ship than yours, for one thing. Handfuls of fighter craft take loops around it on a regular basis, some landing in hangars and being promptly replaced by freshly refueled counterparts. But Central is able to pull in alongside the Silent Watcher amidships.
Over the comm links. So we were wrong about the fighters.
No, we were exactly correct about them. They're only on this ship.
Statement was made that we worry about fighters.
A statement was made that you would not have to worry about many fighters.
That seems like many.
Stand by for chromatic deployment.
As Central matches the Silent Watcher's velocity, so as to land a clean drop.
You all just hear the sound of a bolt racking in the anti-material rifle.
It rings through the cargo bay. Moments before the floor beneath each of your mechs detaches and slides into the ship's walls. As somebody pick me a color.
Purple.
Purple beams of light from the gravitic generators of the ship catch you all and bring you down, along with the breaching charge, which I believe I can now put you all on this. So arrange yourselves as you like. The breaching charge will need to stay where it is.
Actually, is there any cover on this?
Yes, these
Big gray things.
no, those are hatches for those are what you believe hatches for the escape pods. These can you see the black
Yeah. Mhm.
lines? Yeah, those will provide. Those are all size 1 and therefore provide hard cover to you.
Okay, in that case. Chunk.
That feels good. Better.
Oh, that off, and that must be always on. Sorry, just updating the token on the breaching charge.
Mhm.
Okay, so deployment. PCs deploy first. Next, GM deploys enemy forces. Okay, so as Central pulls away from the ship, from the Silent Watcher, invisible still, he radios to you over comms.
Alert. Interceptors inbound. Conflict imminent.
Andrew,
As
one thing that might
yes.
help with our volume issue, if you go to the clean voice on voice
Yes.
on voice mod, it
Uh-huh.
actually has a gain increase.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, that you can adjust to the volume of your microphone without having to get closer to it.
I see bass, mid, treble, intelligible, and mix. Oh, voice volume. So
You have to turn the you'll have to turn the voice on while you're on clean, but
yep. How's this?
better.
Well, my mic is now up by my camera, so I'll set it to 75 and see. Oh, that was it. We'll just max it out. Is that any better?
Yeah, you're more audible
Yep.
while it's over. It definitely sounds like we're further away from you, but it's at least more audible than it was the last time it was further away. Of course, we can
Interesting.
also hear your keyboard, so it's a
Yeah.
It's actually his chair creaking that we can hear.
yeah. We could also
Yep.
oh no, we could also he was typing.
6.5. I'll set it to 50. See if that changes anything. Hopefully that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll just try to talk a little louder.
That always helps.
So, yeah, I'm pretty good at it. So that should, yes, there we go. Sure enough, a fighter wing has caught your, you have caught the attention of a fighter wing. And thus,
Those are big fucking ships.
yeah, they're using the ship template, which means they're size 4.
Yep.
Like a fighter ship should be smaller than that.
You would think. I'm just doing what the page tells me.
Yeah, that's one thing I got wrong when I was running it. I was like, oh, all ships have size 4. Okay.
Okay, so now I get to figure out how the combat encounter system works. Fine. Let's do this.
This is gonna be fun. I'm realizing.
Oh yeah.
That should. Aha. Yes.
I'm about to find out what happens in a minute.
Remove combatant breaching charge. Ooh. You're not. Oh, you're invisible. All right.
Time to fuck around and find out.
Indeed. Okay, so that should be everything. Aha! Begin combat. There we go. That should do something. So,
Should have an action bar.
the players have the first turn. I've added you all to the initiative. Who would like to go first?
Have an initiative? I can't see it.
Oh, is there a fist indicator on the top right bars?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Ah,
That's combat.
Hey,
fist
nice.
time. Got it.
Cool.
how big is a burst 2?
A burst 2 is, if you go to the measuring tool,
Okay, here we go. Yeah. It's a circle. So, oh, that big? Okay. So,
How do I not do
Oh,
that?
no.
Oh no. I've added so many things.
you can hover over them and press delete.
Um,
I could get 3 of them with something if anybody wants, or if nobody minds.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, the best time to use our explosive ordnance is when they're grouped up like that. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's not explosive. It's I just need to make sure that they're within.
That's a burst too. You could probably move it over there. You could probably get it bigger. Or get
I
all-
think
get all
I
of
can
them.
only get 3 at one time. Like it's got to take up a majority of their space, I would assume, for them to be affected by it. Not like just touching a corner.
What are you thinking? Which item?
Logic bomb.
Logic bomb.
Guys, that should only need to touch them.
All characters of your choice within burst 2 of the target. So within 2 spaces of the target.
Oh, so it would hit all of them.
I was about to say,
If I centered it on this guy.
If you put it here, it would hit all of them.
Yeah, if you target the bastion with it, then yes, it will hit all of them.
yeah, within burst 2 is different than blast 2 because burst
Yep.
2 is everything within 2 spaces of the target, so it gets bigger the bigger the target is.
There we go.
Yeah, so target the
Yeah,
one in the middle.
on the bastion.
Logic bomb.
Yep.
Okay, so
I just need to make sure that they're in range first.
they have to be within your senses, and they are quite easily within line of sight.
Okay. And I will move before.
Someone put a ray down.
I did. That was excellent.
Yeah, click on the
There's
head to go back to. Essentially right.
10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be close enough. Stop measuring and
Yes.
start going.
Not close enough.
just barely out.
One off from the.
Click on the brackets at the top to hit the select tokens button to move yourself.
Because I believe that's my speed
That
is
one.
4. Yeah, speed is 4. So
That'll get you in.
yep. All right, there we go. Logic bomb.
Okay, so
Boom.
you should be able to do this from just clicking on your mech. If you hover over the bastion and press T to target it.
Okay.
So now click on your token, hover over systems, and there's a logic bomb button.
Do I have anything that gives me my talents?
Dice roll.
Okay, yeah. So it's a
Oh,
quick
yes, it is.
action.
Ha ha ha.
So
Pop out the chat log.
submit. Yeah, so quick tech. I don't know
18,
what that-
18 hits.
Okay.
So that comes 2 heat from the invade. And now all these 4 of your choice. So I assume all of them.
Yes, all of
Okay.
them need to make a system save.
Start with the
Which-
Avenger.
Oh, I have a tech attack +2.
What do I know about? Where's my roster? There it is. Okay. Let me just double check. Yes, you're right. Cool. So this should just be a flat roll. Five. That is a failure for the Avenger. 14 for the Rainmaker, which I believe is a success.
Yeah, because I don't have anything that my tech attack doesn't increase or do anything with the save, right?
Yeah, what's your save target?
Save target is 11.
Alright, so Rainmaker passes, Avenger and Support both fail, and the Ace also passes. Now I don't know if the Bastion needs to make the save as well.
If it's within that burst, then yeah.
Hang on, let me double check.
Because it's a quick tech invade.
Just double checking pilot nets.
Yeah.
Rules discussion channel.
Yeah, so Windows 10 has a very helpful feature called shake to minimize. Whereas if you grab a single window and that's the only one you want and shake it, it'll minimize all the other windows. Problem is moving from right to left, if you don't have a perfectly robot smooth arm, will shake the window.
Let's see. It's only if the burst is an attack, so the Bastion also need to make the save. Which they pass.
They failed.
Oh, I was looking at the Ace. Whoops. No, Bastion gets a 6, Bastion fails. Which
3 of them
means
failed.
the Bastion, Support, and the Avenger are all slowed until they end a turn without being adjacent to anyone. That's immobilized. Where is the slowed? There it is. Oh wow, that's terrible. But it's fine. It will serve.
And then with my other quick action, I'm gonna skirmish with the Nexus Hunter.
Okay. Targeting.
Against the Bastion, the only one that's in range.
All right.
Let's see. Smart.
$13 hits.
All right. So
for 2 damage, which let me check the Bastion. Where is that? Bastion.
and that's me.
What did the logic bomb do to all of them?
It slowed 3 of them.
The Bastion, the
Nice.
Avenger, and the Support are slowed until they end a turn without being adjacent to anyone.
And that means that the only movement they can make is their standard move. They can't boost or use any special moves granted by talent systems or weapons.
Indeed. The Bastion takes no damage from the Hunter Killer Nexus. Armor blocks it.
It was just the teeniest of pews.
Okay, so who will take those turn first? No wonder. I need to pull up their sheets. Don't know why I didn't do that sooner. Rainmaker and Support. Whoops. Oh well. This is what I get for not reading all the stat sheets before the game. Oh well, I'll have to remember that for next time.
What did you not read?
The Support has a nano repair cloud. feature, which means allied characters adjacent to it roll twice on saves and skill checks and take the higher one.
Good thing you didn't read it then.
But we're going to start with the ace, I think. As the well, what will they do?
Turn on the potney.
Speed ace. It is 5. Cool. We're gonna move there and open fire with their missile launcher, which can only hit one of you at a time since it's the last one. But they will take a shot at Wager with it. Means there's my there it is. There we go. That one is targeting missile launcher. That's gonna miss. And is there anything else they can do? You know what? Sure, they will try to invade you as well.
Hey, that's my gimmick.
Gimmick infringement.
Well, this is just a. Where's my book? Here it is.
Don't respect the use of dibs.
Systems versus defense. What's the ace's sensor range? 10. They're in range.
I'm assuming it's 10, like, unless they're using.
No, it's easily 10.
Yeah.
But why am I pinning to the? That's weird. I'm pinning to corners on my measuring. I don't know why.
You're into what?
For some reason, only in some places I'm measuring from corners and some from. Whatever. It works. It's fine. We're all fine here now.
Who knows?
Next 8 systems check. 14. 14, I believe, beats your defense.
My E defense is, yes, 10.
Cool. So you take 2 heat and are impaired until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Means
I do just talking about that while Andrew is thinking through his turns and stuff. I do really want to play Icon at some point because apparently it's basically Final Fantasy Tactics, but a tabletop RPG form, which is my jam.
do I? Oh,
Is that how you distinguish whose turn is it? It is.
Yes,
It's just
I
that
think so.
rotating. That's pretty awesome.
I think so because I hit a couple of buttons, but that's all the ace can do for now. So, Tyro, you choose whose turn it is next.
I have an exploding thing
Yeah.
that works if they're clustered.
I have an exploding thing that deals AP damage.
Sorry, but Howitzer Gang is still strong, even though I'm currently not using a howitzer. It's gonna be Victor's turn.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. I am going to move up this way. Right there.
If you want to use your howitzer, I believe it's ordnance.
Oh, I'm
You
not
have to
going to
fire
use my
first.
howitzer right now. We're doing something else.
That's just
In
the
res-
reason I made the decision.
Yeah.
In response to your movement, the ace is going to take a reaction to boost.
Okay.
So he will move 1, 2, there.
Okay.
Keep
I'm-
moving around, bud. Keep moving around.
And I'm going to invade that guy.
The Avenger.
Yep.
All right.
This is my first time doing one of these. I don't know.
Okay.
exactly.
So you hover a mouse over the Avenger
Okay.
and press T to target them.
Okay.
And then select
An
your
orange thing
token.
showed up. What?
So now you select your token,
Okay.
and under Systems, you pick the one you want.
Under what?
Up in the upper left-hand corner where it says Mission Planning Hull.
I
Yep.
keep forgetting to mention
Oh,
that.
When you
systems?
select your token, underneath that it has a series of token actions.
Got it. All right. I would like to cause him to eject his power cores.
All right. So you click on that one.
Yep.
Nice.
That's a success.
Yep.
All right. So the Avenger is now jammed.
Uh-huh.
Now jammed.
Two guys next to him take 2 energy damage.
Stabilized, and jammed. There we go. The damage is absorbed by the Bastion's armor. Wait, let me check if the Bastion can do anything to.
It's just energy damage. It's not AP.
Yeah, I know. I'm checking. See if the Bastion can do anything to. Nope. Okay. Cool. That's fine. The Ninja takes 2 heat.
Okay.
And the Rainmaker has 1 armor, so takes 1 point of damage.
All right. And
And the
then
Bastion takes none.
my autopod is something that attacks on a reaction, but do I have to, on a quick action, like deploy it?
Nope.
I'm not exactly sure. Okay.
Nope. It's just there, and
It's
whenever
just
someone
there.
else does the
Okay.
thing that meets
Sweet.
its circumstances, you use your reaction for that turn to shoot them with the
Okay.
autopod.
What's the reaction that the autopod needs?
Another character attacks a target within range. The target has to be within range 15 of
Oh yeah.
Victor, and they have to consume lock-on with the attack.
Yep. I would like to lock down on this guy.
Which one?
Our friend who's been moving.
The ace. All right.
Yes.
Was the ace not slowed?
It
No.
wasn't.
No, I made the save.
Pass the save. The ace now has lock-on.
Yep. And I think that's my turn.
Yep. Movement to quick actions.
Yep. I
Cool. The Rainmaker's going to go. And no, that doesn't. That's good. Good. Oh, that's fun. The Rainmaker's going to start by moving as 3. Yeah, it's just going to put it there. So, thank you. Right, and now I need to measurements. Oh, good, everybody's within range. So it's going to fire.
We are conveniently close to them.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We are trying to protect the breaching charge.
As its full action, the Rainmaker will use its volley, which it chooses to target each of you, so you all need to make an agility save or take some damage.
Oh boy. That looks
Do the
bad.
people that have cover from it get any bonuses?
Nope.
Ability.
All right, what's the thing?
Agility
I
save.
need you all to make an agility save.
I'm just trying to read up on things.
Yeah, all good.
Agility +3.
It should be, yes.
So that would make it a an 11.
11.
Yeah, because I rolled an
Well,
8.
No, I rolled an 8.
sorry.
You rolled a
Oh,
1.
I rolled a
you rolled
1?
1, buddy.
Oh, I was looking at the
Yep.
wrong one. Never mind. It doesn't matter if I had a +3.
Agility should also be figured into that, which it's not.
Oh God,
I still rolled high.
I got a 5.
All right, so Yamitachi is the only one that passes. So Yamitachi takes two explosive, and everyone else takes 4.
Okay.
This is. Want to lose my personalizations.
But that's all that the Rainmaker can do. So, Victor, whose turn is it next?
Good question. John's character, Valentine.
Oh,
Drake. You know,
Drake.
the one with the name
Go
under
for
it
it.
that says Drake. All right. My turn. So, first, I'm. Abilities. So I'm going to use one of my. I'm going to use my issue order free action. To throw one of my leadership dice. Vanish. Actually, does Vanish has the Cyclone Pulse Rifle, right? William?
What?
Vanish is the Cyclone Pulse Rifle, right?
No, Advantage Tech currently has an anti-material rifle and a crawl rifle.
Oh, an anti-material rifle. Yeah. So I'm going to throw a leadership dice at Vanish and say basically give issue order to Vanish over the comms. All right, those of us with sniper rifles, let's prioritize that Rainmaker. As I give Vanish a leadership die, and going to use my. Going to load my. So would the Avenger be providing cover to the Rainmaker from me, or no?
No, mechs don't provide cover.
Or ships don't provide
unless
cover?
specifically stated.
Okay.
But, like mechs in general.
Okay.
The Bastion being an exception.
Yeah, I'm going to load a shock round into the anti-material rifle.
Does that have ordnance?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't moved.
It's before you move or do anything. So
Free
it
action.
can be
That is anything that isn't the protocol.
Do free actions count on that?
Protocols don't count. Free actions do.
Really, free actions count against. I can't talk before I shoot the gun. Fine, I'll shoot the gun first and then talk. That seems weird.
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I'm not blaming you. I'm talking about the rules of the game. If it's true that I can't talk before I shoot the gun, that seems weird.
Let me just double check the talent in question.
I will take that and do that, but that seems weird.
No, it's just a free action.
Yeah, issue order is a free action.
Attacks. Ordnance. Can only be fired before the user moves or takes any other actions on their turn except protocols. The user can still act and move normally after attacking.
Yeah, that's a weird rules interaction. All right, I shoot the Rainmaker first, and then after loading it with a shock round because that's just when I attack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I can't even do that anyways because it's only with a main range weapon. Sniper rifle. So.
Yep.
Target.
Also, I'd recommend giving that to somebody else anyway because I have a different target in front of me.
I mean, I'm giving you that because that's what my character does. Whether or not you use it is up to you.
Hmm.
And also because you're the only one that goes next. There's no telling who'll go next. Who'll go like because I may end up going first next round. Who knows? All right, targeting weapons. Oh, rifle. Accurate.
That's a lot of dice.
I think it rolled the damage too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yeah, it rolls the attack and damage at the same time.
What? Jesus Christ!
well, 12 hits.
I do 2 armor-piercing damage. That was a real good use of my fucking sniper rifle. And then shoot it twice. No, I don't have the range for that. I'm gonna shoot it once. Nope, I don't have the range for that either. So I'm just gonna fire the anti-material rifle at it, and then turn and pull out my hand cannon because I'm within range of that one. And I'm gonna shoot the ace ship twice, consuming the lock-on.
Okay.
Extra advantage, I think.
You get 1 accuracy on the first attack.
I've
Yep.
already got 1 accuracy. Well, so it's 2 accuracy.
That's okay.
But here's a question, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using ordnance weapons in a barrage, does the ordnance weapon have to be the first thing you shoot in the barrage, or can it be the second weapon?
It has to be the first weapon.
So you can't use 2 ordnance weapons in a barrage.
Nope.
Period.
Fairly certain that is the case, yes. Okay, so that ace is going to barrel roll as a reaction.
I crit it. 5. I don't know what the barrel roll does.
The ace performs barrel roll, flying 6 spaces in any direction and causing the attack to miss.
Well, it's reliable 1, so I still do 1 damage.
Indeed, you do.
My next attack fires.
The ace is going to go. Go right there.
According to the rules discussion, you can fire them in any order because it's the same action as firing both weapons.
Right, it's the action that matters, not the. Yeah, okay. So yes, then you could fire 2 ordnance weapons
And
That's
fire them in
barrage.
whichever order. Yeah.
I should have consumed that.
You did.
No, I should have consumed that lock on for the second attack.
Well,
does
you
that
did for the first one.
does my hit still count for Vanish's reaction?
Let me check.
Because it doesn't take that it doesn't take that barrel roll until after I hit it, right?
In Victor's reaction?
Yes.
Yeah, for Victor's
Goblin
reaction.
Blood. Attacks a target and consumes lock-on. So you don't have to hit; you just have to make the attack.
Alright, so Victor, would you like to use your reaction for your gun?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
would.
So that automatically hits.
Mm-hmm. It does 3 damage. I think.
Yes, it does.
3 kinetic. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it barrel rolls away from my gun only to roll into an additional barrage of fire. And then the massive revolver, the chamber, and as the first shell flies out of it, a second fire.
Okay.
This one has. I have 2 hand cannons, game. One of them is loaded, game. When I fired 1 hand cannon, it unloaded both of them, apparently.
Huh. That's weird.
You can just click on the loading button next to the weapon and it'll reload it.
Yeah, except that it's not letting me.
Mm.
loading button.
Like on the weapon on your mech sheet,
There it
there's
goes.
like the damage dice and then the loaded.
Yeah. So the loaded option is linked to both hand cannons.
Hang on, let me try something. If I delete that one, put in another one. Aha!
I'm
Now
imagining
oh.
the
Yep,
auto.
now they're separate. Sorry,
I'm
Nara.
Yeah, I'm imagining the autopod as something that I have given my NHPs. It's like when you hand a kid a driving wheel and you have your hands on it as well, and you're just sort of like helping it steer, and it's very proud.
So both of my shots ping off of it, but I do have a reliable one. Takes 1 more point of damage.
Yep, that it does.
So that turn it took 5 points of damage.
Hmm.
Issue my command about focusing fire on the Rainmaker. That I did 2 points of AP damage to. And I think that was a barrage. Ooh.
What you thinking?
Sorry, question again.
Mm-hmm.
Does my even though the barrel roll caused my attack to miss, did it still qualify as hitting when I rolled?
For what? What's the word I'm looking for?
Purposes of my gunslinger.
Let me
Oh wait, no,
see
I don't
where
have
it
that yet.
is. Oh, yeah. All right.
All right, this the character sheet is laid out.
All good. Okay, I think is that your turn?
My turn.
Cool. The support is going to go next, and they as this fighter wing flies in, and they start to break off and go in their own directions. The support, a couple of lights flash on the support, and the Avenger slightly drifts for a moment before it seems to reset and correct its course as the support invokes its remote reboot ability. If I figure out how to plug it into the chat, that would be great. There's got to be a way to do that, right? If I click on it, it just pops up the thing. Well, the short version is that the support clears any 2 of the following conditions currently affecting an allied character within range 5. Those are impaired, jammed, stunned, and slowed. The Avenger is now no longer either of those. And then it's going to move. That was its full action. Bastion. Okay, give me that. There we go. So support. It's full action. And then it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Park itself there. And yes, that's all it can do. So it clears the slowed that logic bomb put on it. Cool. And that brings us around to Vanish.
Yep. Okay. So first off, I am going to start off with the barrage, as is necessary. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to start by firing the crawl rifle.
right. Boom.
At the ace ship, which is the only thing in range of it.
All right.
This is going to be.
I almost feel like I need a third monitor.
I have a third monitor, and I feel like I need a fourth.
This is probably not going to add my grit to it, all things considered. Wouldn't matter anyway. Oh, I did have my grit. Cool. I missed with the crawl rifle.
All right.
And then I fired the anti-materiel rifle at it.
All right.
Which one are you aiming the anti-material rifle at?
The ace.
Is it too close for you to fire that at?
Doesn't have a minimum range.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
The ordnance tag.
Uh,
That are engaged.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm not engaged with it.
Yeah,
Engagement is melee.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I suppose it was to where I was looking.
yeah, there is one space there, and the ace is further higher up as well.
Is indeed a minimum range on weapons with ordnance.
Da-da-da. That'll hit.
It does.
7 AP damage.
Ow. Blow a chunk out of the ace's wing, and it struggles to stabilize.
And then how high up is it right now?
The hatches are one space higher than you, so I would say the ace is 3 spaces higher than you right now.
Cool. I have an EVA unit.
Mm-hmm.
I will fly my way into melee with it
Okay.
and use my initiative to swing at it with my tactical melee weapon as a free action.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Tactical melee. And this is, hang on. Need to be able to see the pilot sheet because I need to be able to find my tactical profile. I need partisan +1 accuracy on the first melee attack you make with a main melee weapon on your turn. For 3 more damage.
How would you like to destroy it?
Hey.
That was exactly enough to kill it.
So Vanish just follows it, and the as it's watching, the Yamitachi is just sort of tracking the ace as it tries to pitch through the air, and just
I have you now.
and it's just the arm goes up to fire the crawl rifle, which is just like a grappling hook inside one of the arms that just tries to fire out and pierce. It misses. And then the anti-materiel rifle rests on the upper arm and just blasts a chunk out of its wing. And while it's trying to right itself, the Yamatachi just boosts up into the air and drives the blade through the other through the body of the engine, and it just spirals off into the distance.
Alrighty. The ace is no longer with us. All right. Is that everything for you?
Let's see, how much movement do I have? My speed is 5. I have one more speed. I will descend a space.
All right. So that makes you 2 spaces above the ground.
Yep.
Ah, there's a button for this. Aha, there we are.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Which I should do for all the others now that I think of it. Yes, they are all 3 spaces above ground level, or the breaching charges ground level specifically. Okay, that leaves the Avenger and the Bastion. I think the... Oh, shit, whoops. Well, I'll remember that for next time. All right, so the Avenger's going to go first. They will move how far? Pretty far. 1, 2, 5 spaces. And then they will barrage. The first shot will be with their Judgment Shotgun, which will aim at Tyler.
It's just funny seeing the little dot hover over your token. Like, oh yeah, no, you're going to target them.
All still hits. I need you to make me an agility save.
Also, you
It's
take
like
10 damage.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it just does 10.
8.
Save target is 10. You are not prone.
All right.
Knocked prone and take 10 damage.
All right. Cool. So do I just put minus?
Yeah, minus 10. You can put into your...
Oops.
Oh, that
Didn't work.
doesn't work.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Does. Unfortunately, that doesn't work the way Roll20 does.
All right.
It set you to minus 10 HP.
If you right click on, it hit for mine. If you right click on your character token, and then in the bottom number you type minus whatever, it goes down.
Okay.
That's weird.
Like when I got hit for 4, I did that. I hit -4 and it went from 39.
Huh.
I'm guessing it doesn't work if you lose structure because I just did.
Oh, well then, please roll me a structure damage check.
Yeah. Let me just find that on here.
It is 1d6 right now. This is the first structure you've taken. Oh wait, there's probably a button for it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I just rolled a d6. I got a 4.
System trauma. Roll me another d6.
6.
On a 4 to 6, one system of your choice is destroyed.
One system.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah. I'll lose my smoke grenades.
All right. And for its second attack in the barrage, it will fire its slug pistol at Drake.
Use it.
Thirteen hits.
Yep.
It is 4 damage to you.
-4.
That's all the Avenger can do, which leaves. Oh, whoops. I clicked the things in the wrong order. So while the glowy lights are on the Avenger, it's meant to be the Bastion's turn. With ordnance, very good. Bastion will stay where it is, I think. And wait, check range. Why are you measuring to corners? I don't want you to do that. Yes, that is within range. On the other side of the cover. So, it's going to do it anyway. We'll fire the rotary grenade launcher at Drake. Side cover. Still gets a 16.
Yep. I continue to get pummeled behind cover.
And how do I take it?
I blame this entirely on the HUD customization that Victor did.
Who pilots with an inverted y-axis? Who does that?
Exactly.
The X and the Y are inverted.
Oh, that didn't work. Aha, there we go. Yeah. Okay, round 2, which means Vanish, you took the previous turn, which means you choose who goes next.
I would like to go before I get hit again.
Fair.
So I can issue orders to, and also.
Sure, go for it.
All right. So I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on my hyperspec fuel injector because I'm about to start doing stupid shit.
All right.
Issue my protocol. Going to full action.
So stabilize. Yeah.
Have the ability to stabilize? No.
Is it not listed?
No, it's not.
Huh. Weird.
But yeah, I'm going to stabilize.
Yeah, that's fine.
Stabilize. So I'm going on repair to restore hit points to maximum. Reload all weapons with a loading tab. So all of my weapons get reloaded, my hit points go back to maximum. Back to 13. Loaded. I am then going to use my initiative to, as a quick action, barrage with my assault, or to, as a quick action, skirmish with my assault rifle, applying shock to. No, none of them are close enough. I'm going to actually apply.
This is a little bit of housekeeping. The Bastion is no longer slowed. Yeah, you'll have to do those through Comic-Con. But no.
Personalizations are.
Yeah, your walking armory isn't there. I'll plug that in for you.
I mean, it's on my player character. So yeah, with walking armory, thumper, which is going to make this deal which is going to give this thing knockback 1 and make it deal explosive damage. I'm going to shoot the Avenger.
Okay.
Get it out of my face. So. I have an accuracy. Made in my fuel injector.
That's correct.
Yep, so that's going to be 6 kinetic damage to the Avenger and knockback 1, so it gets knocked back 1 space.
Check range. Sorry, check thing. Yes. Okay, so the Avenger takes 3.
Uh,
And it is.
Isn't it outside of range 3 because it's 3 spaces up
I'm
and a
not
space
gonna-
out?
my assault rifle has range 10.
No, I'm referring to the Avengers like I don't get fucked up if I'm really close to you thing.
Yeah, the Avenger has resistance to all damage originating from within range 3.
But it's 3
But-
up and 1 away, so it's 4 range away from me.
Yeah, that works. Okay, so it takes 4. Oh, sure, now the -4 thing works.
I mean, it would take 6, wouldn't it?
Oh, right.
Yeah, 6.
Why do I think it would be 4?
Because I said 4 spaces away.
Does it have armor? I don't know.
Does it have armor? That's important. It doesn't.
I just remember that because of the mechanized bestiary being like, don't let the Avenger get close to you.
I'm then,
Well,
then going to overcharge.
okay. Takes 1.
1 point of heat. Shoot it again with my assault rifle. Loading another bit of loading another
Forever.
thumper into it.
Mhm. That'll hit.
5 more kinetic damage, and it moves back another space. So yeah, so Drake just like ping, 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 just goes, okay, fuck this, and the entire
the
mech
button.
begins to heat up as fire just sort of shoots out of the cigar hole, and just unloads on the Avenger. And I'm going to issue an order to this one's to Tyro. And I'm just gonna say, would you please knock this motherfucker out of the air? So you get a leadership die, Tyro, for attacking the Avenger if you do.
All right.
2 of my leadership die has been no.
Full action, initiative, overcharge.
I have a
Moving.
free boost if I want movement, but I don't really want to move from where I'm at.
Fair enough.
Actually, I do want to move. That's a lie. I do want to move from where I'm at. 1, 2. I'm just gonna slide down to this end of the wall to get myself take a little bit more advantage of cover. And actually, no, hang on, no, scratch that.
Tiny gap.
I'm
Routine
going to
changes
go
everything.
here. Can I climb over this wall?
It's roughly your height, so I need to double check the rules on climbing.
I'll just boost.
Also, you have an EVA unit.
Well, no, I don't have an EVA. I have jumper. I have booster feet. So I'll
Oh, yeah, jump booster. Yeah.
I'll just
Oh,
jump over it. I'll boost and go over it.
Yep, that works.
And land there.
Saves me having to look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna go next? I think it's gonna be Sebastian.
Also, I believe if you have any of the flight units in space, you're just able to fly.
Yeah. You can fly and you're not slowed, so yes, you can just get up in the air like how Vanish did.
Yeah.
Sebastian will move to what's your speed, Bastion? It's 4. Cool. 1, 2. Park itself there, adjacent to the Avenger. And I was not aware that had the loading tag. Well, I guess that's what it's going to do. Yeah, the Bastion will stabilize to clear heat and reload.
Anything else on its turn?
No, that's all the Bastion can do. So, Drake. who's
Pyro's
next?
turn.
Pyro.
Okay. just said to take care of the Avenger.
These are the exact words were attack the Avenger.
Yeah.
I mean,
So any
And
attack
take it out of
roll-
the sky,
take
but you
this
know.
motherfucker out of the sky, but close enough.
Okay.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Let's do this thing.
Remove it from the battlefield.
I basically have an accuracy.
Yeah, you get an accuracy for any attacks you make against the Avenger.
All of them are first one.
Any attacks that you make.
Well, you can spend it.
Yeah,
It's a D6. It's a D6
Oh,
that you
okay.
can spend on. It's not even an accuracy. It's actually separate from an accuracy. It's an extra D6 that you can throw on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me check.
I'm gonna ruin this pilot's day, or at least make it very scary for the next
You can expend
couple.
a leadership die to gain +1 accuracy.
That's it. Yeah,
On
you can expend
any
leadership die to gain
action-
+1 accuracy on any action that relates to fulfilling the order.
Yeah, which is to say, actually, if you barrage, that's the action. It applies to both.
Well, I was gonna do a full tech.
That also, yeah, you'd get the accuracy to that too. Any action that follows the order.
Okay, yeah.
So
I'm
you
gonna
get an
do a full
accuracy to
tech
both
attack.
of your tech attack.
Okay.
The first tech attack is gonna be the hack slash invade. Let me target this
So
individual.
So long as it follows the order, take this motherfucker out of the sky. You get an
It
accuracy.
does. Why is it not letting me? There we go. Tech attack.
And William, you still have your leadership die. You didn't choose to give it back. So if at any point
Yeah.
you decide to follow the order of shoot the Rainmaker with the sniper rifle, you will have that leadership die.
Well, that would require me to reload the thing first.
Yeah.
20 on the tech
20.
attack. So yes, that will absolutely hit the Avenger.
Okay, so they cannot benefit from or take any quick or full tech actions until the mech is either shut down or its core system is rebooted with a successful systems check as a quick action.
All right.
And as the second part of my full tech, I'm going to be disabling the life support as well
Oh boy.
with the invade action. They'll receive a plus if I hit. They receive a +1 difficulty on all saves until the life system is rebooted and a successful system check with is rebooted with a successful system check as a quick action. So another tech attack. Actor it again.
+1 to these.
15.
No, you don't apply crit to tech attacks. You
Yeah,
apply
no,
frames
not
to
tech attacks.
instead.
You apply your tech attack modifier, which you can increase with your system score.
That's it.
Never mind. Then those should all be +2.
No, you apply the frames tech attack stat.
Yeah, but your system score increases your tech attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Foundry
because
doesn't
my
seem to
tech
be-
attack is
Foundry doesn't seem to be applying the score bonuses. Actually,
Huh,
bonuses like
weird.
they didn't apply my agility bonus, which is actually 3. It didn't apply my
Oh,
agility
curious.
bonus to my agility save either.
Well,
I
I,
think-
will see if.
When rolled from the token act.
Yeah, every point of system increases your E defense and your tech attack by 1.
All right, so the Avenger is at heat capacity and is now exposed.
so
That's
yeah,
that
and
one.
then
Little hazard light.
So it takes double damage from everything.
Yes, as
And-
as Tyro forces open emergency vents.
yeah, try flying when you can't shunt the heat away. And then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now overcharge and shoot it.
I will use initiative and use that for to. No, I'm going to do a lock on the bastion.
Good,
So
because that's
I
my
have to
next
roll
target.
for that as well, isn't it?
No, lock on just happens.
Oh yeah. Lock on
Yeah,
just happens.
Lock-on just happens. Bastion is now locked on.
All right,
Now,
that's me.
Mara's reaction doesn't require the lock-on to have been applied by her, does it?
No, it just
Anytime
Yes,
someone
I-
consumes a lock on,
you make the attack and you consume lock-on. You don't even have to hit.
and then Mara's goblin just goes.
Fun.
I sense
Okay.
weakness.
The Rainmaker's going to go. It needs to roll the recharge. That one.
I just shut his spaceship off. Spaceship
Hey,
ship off.
recharges. We make a recharges that. Okay, so what's it gonna do? It'll start by moving. Speed rainmaker. It's not great. 1, 2, move to there. And then it will fire the missiles.
Fire the missiles.
Range 20. So targeting Drake, who has hard cover. All of you except Vanish have hard cover, so it's going to target Drake, Tyro.
Am I
and
not sitting
Vanish.
across hard cover from it?
No, everyone except for
No, you're
Oh, right, I'm
just-
in the air. Duh.
You're in the
Okay,
air.
Don't get launched into space. Oh no, the planet's gravity.
Oh boy.
only hits
Uh,
Wager.
Hooray.
Well, I don't know if I can. Yamikachi.
It does have reliable 2, though.
Still rolled a 5, so it's going to miss either way. Okay, so yep. So Drake and Vanish each take 2. Taro takes 4.
Bop, bop.
And
Open up character sheet.
your-
Yeah, like I said you can just right click on the token.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So that was a quick action to skirmish. It will then check to see who's within range of it. Everyone is within range. Why are you measuring from corners? Stop it. Don't want you to do that. But it doesn't matter, everyone is within range. It's going to apply lock on to Vanish.
Oh boy.
What is that?
Lock on.
Oh, the
I-
No, it's not. It's a ping. I don't know how I did it.
I don't know how you did that either, but it's gone now.
If I hold down, it pings.
Yeah.
Huh, neat.
Oh, cool. Like, we
Right,
all-
because
it.
it was red and you put it on your mech, it gave me a very anime angry impression.
That's a good way to see who's got lock on from who, though.
Doesn't say though.
Yes.
It doesn't say there. Yeah, it goes away.
Bummer.
But yes, Vanish now has lock on. Tyro, who's next?
Let's see. Who's already gone?
Drake.
Drake.
Drake and yourself.
Okay. Vanish then, because they're most likely to get close.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Vanish,
Bastion
vanish,
has-
not Victor.
Vanish.
Other V name.
Oh, sorry. Bleh. I know words.
Let's see. What's my
Not very
current
well, but-
distance?
We're all great
Ooh.
at words here at
Go
Financial
Vanish.
Films.
Just in range. I am happy.
Get it.
Let's see. We are going to wait to see if this hits before I move, because if I get too close, it'll take resistance. So fire the crawl rifle. Give me something good. Damn it. Ah. Hate. Ugh.
8. Yes, that is
It's a 9.
unfortunately good.
It is actually a 9 because of my +1 grit.
So So the 9 is unfortunately a miss.
Wait, that was targeting the ace. Is the I'm assuming the
Oh.
Avengers evasion is better than 9.
Yes, it is.
Hate. Move as I'm drawing. Move 1, 2, 3, and drop back down to the floor. And then I have another quick action that I will use for yes, I will drop a smoke grenade on myself.
All right. So what's the size of that?
The blast 2. So let me 2. Everything within that radius has soft cover.
Whoops.
Yeah, the only problem is that William's color is the same as the ship, so it's hard to see the
Ah.
radius.
Yeah. Do you want me to draw one in?
Yeah, let's go ahead and let me.
I got rid of it.
Yeah, cool. Draw one that is a different color. There you go.
Okay, smoke grenade is on. Is that everything?
That is it. Yes.
Cool. What can you do? What can you do?
I really want to hit one of these things with a crawl rifle and watch it just fall out of the sky.
The Avenger could go and try to shoot me this time.
The Avenger can't do shit. Actually, all it can do is move, basically, and fire.
Yeah. It only can't take quick or full take actions.
Yeah.
And has difficulty on saves. You know what I'm gonna do? A couple of turrets pop out of side hatches. Hello.
I think I put that smoke grenade down.
And do their activations. Because this turret right here is going to go. I need to pull up its character sheet because I didn't think of that. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to start the skirmish at. Oh wait, there's one space up from here. It's going to start with a skirmish with its light machine gun at Victor.
It's got the +2 from lock.
From which?
I have the lock on me from the.
No, you
No, you
don't.
don't.
No.
Vanish has a
Oh.
lock on.
Vanish
Oh
has the lock on.
shoot! Sorry,
I should probably start calling them by the mix to help differentiate them.
Yeah.
It would help.
I will do that.
But
So
all of our
we'll take a
tokens
shot
have
at
our
next.
names on us.
We'll take a shot at next.
Okay.
Problem then is that you go from 2 V names to one of them being called next.
Whoa, that's not meant to be an accuracy. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna try that again because that's
Okay.
weird. What?
I say it hit real good.
Oh, right. I get you. I had put in -1 difficulty, which
Makes it 1 accuracy.
which turned it into an accuracy. We're gonna try that again.
That still hits.
Yeah. So that is 5 kinetic damage to you.
Okay.
And then it will also targeting Victor, suppress. As you can see that the the initial barrage of gunfire, like, oh wait, you have hard cover against this. You might not even take the damage. Just gonna double check.
Have hard cover? Doesn't look like it.
So that
turret.
is 13 minus 4, which becomes a 9. So that's a miss.
It does still have reliable.
Yes, it's reliable. So you take 3 instead of 5.
Okay.
Okay, so. Oh, maybe that's the button I need. Yeah, there we go. So next is now impaired, and the archer gains moving target.
Okay. What does
So-
impaired mean?
You have -1. You have 1 difficulty on attacks, checks, and saves.
Okay.
Effect lasts until the archer uses moving target. So this remains until it uses the reaction it just gained, or you hit him, or he becomes stunned, jammed, or destroyed.
And
Or it makes
moving
an attack.
target, I'm assuming, is if the thing moves while being suppressed, you shoot it.
Yes,
Hmm.
but that's all. Indeed. This is Victor's turn, actually.
Oh boy.
Yes, She's the last one left.
Yep.
We gotta wait
Well,
for 3 of the enemy to go.
protocol. I would like to do that. For a shield against that turret that is attempting to hit me, because I don't
Does-
like it.
The takes
Uh-huh.
the projected shield, yeah.
Project shield. And that Avenger is really close to blowing up. I don't want to let it have a chance to regenerate. So
For those of you playing at home, the projected shield means that Next and the archer turret both have an extra 2 difficulty on attacks against each other.
yep. But I'm not gonna try and hit it, so that's fine. I'm gonna fire the howitzer at the Avenger.
Okay. Which I assume you also want to catch the Bastion in that?
It's not exploding, I don't think. Am I?
Yeah,
just
howitzers
remembering
hit.
how-
Howitzers do
Oh yeah,
burst
it is
too.
explosive. Yes, yes. Yeah, I would like to
Okay.
hit the Bastion as well.
Technically, if you aimed it right, you could probably hit the Rainmakers.
It's only a blast. Actually, yeah, if you put it right
It's a blast
here.
2, isn't it? So yeah, it's a blast 2. So yes, you could hit all 3 of them,
Okay.
and you can
Cool.
you can cause a area attack weapon to airburst in this manner.
Okay, I would like to do that.
All right then.
All right. How do I fire this?
So you make an attack against all 3 of them with 1 difficulty
Yep.
because of the impairment.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe another one from the howitzer itself.
Yeah, it's the howitzer inaccurate, so 2 difficulty.
It is.
Yep. So 2. Oh, it does that one already. So
Yeah,
minus
it gives you the
that.
inaccuracy already, so you only need to increase.
Wait, how is this working? So difficulty add 1. Yes. Okay. So -2. Oh, nope.
That's a miss against the Avenger, but you do still make separate attacks against the other 2.
Okay. And now I do this bit. So 2d6.
Mhm.
Oh, am I making separate attacks on them?
Separate attacks, yeah.
Got it. Those are also -2, correct?
Yes, they're the same.
It's not gonna let me do it because it's not loaded. Wow, you're being very annoying.
I think you
Oh,
can
that's-
target multiple creatures with one.
Yeah, that's just because you didn't target them all at once. Shift T to select multiple targets.
Is that shift? 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
Oh, to target.
So I think
Sorry.
I have to.
Yeah, just reload the howitzer and make the roll again.
Oh god, how do I do that?
There should be a loaded icon on the weapon.
On the character.
Is I don't know how to change it.
You just click on the dot next to loaded.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
That was targeting the Avenger again, but that's probably still a miss.
Yeah.
So 7. Yeah, that misses both of them.
Okay. Darn it. Okay.
You make one more attack roll.
I do. Well, let's go with the tried.
Well, no, you were targeting 3 enemies. You've only rolled 2 attacks so far.
Okay.
Reload the howitzer and roll again.
Fuck. Nope.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was one. I'm going to then. Let's see. Let's go with the things that are working. Let's make that poor Avenger eject all its cooling rods. I'm gonna invade.
What's the action requirement on the projected shield? Is that a protocol?
Yeah, it's a protocol.
All right, cool. Just double checking.
Mhm.
All right, so the attack against the Avenger.
Is that a -1 as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Impaired plus take attacks as well.
Just watch this Avenger just like die and collapse just from a reactor meltdown.
Hey, that hits.
That hits.
It takes.
Takes 2 heat and is jammed again. Excess heat, I believe, is just lost. So it is now jammed again.
Oh, they don't take burn.
It's gems. That one actually doesn't take any damage. It's characters adjacent to the target are hit by the things they're ejecting.
Oh,
So the bastion
well.
takes 2 energy.
More cooling rods bounce off the Bastion's armor plating.
Yep. And this feels like a good time to do stupid things. I'm gonna seize the initiative here.
Okay.
And I'm
using your
gonna
initiative.
fire
Oh,
my yes.
I just noticed something.
Mhm.
Eject power cores can only be used once per scene on each target. So you pick me. You can wind that.
Did I
You
do
can wind
them
that
on
back.
the Avenger before?
Yeah, that was the first
Oh,
one you did it on.
okay. Sorry, that's my bad.
That's all good.
Okay.
You can wind that back and you can reclaim that quick.
Do it to the Bastion.
I'm gonna do it on the Bastion. Yeah, I can
Okay.
re-roll it for it.
Yep, go ahead.
It'll be
Okay.
particularly effective because then the Avengers will take 4 energy damage instead of 2.
Yes, because exposed double damage from all sources.
Yes.
So I suppose you could just take that roll and
Invade.
apply it to the Bastion.
I mean, yeah, could easily do that. We're gonna do that.
Also, you didn't even target the Bastion. You're still targeting the Avenger.
That's because I don't know how to click things.
You just hover your mouse over a different thing and hit.
But we're gonna use that 16 against the Bastion.
Okay, good.
So Bastion is now jammed.
Yeah. Avenger
And-
gets hit by stuff.
And the Avenger takes 4 as a cooling rod flies into an emergency vent.
Is it still up?
It is still up. It is not looking great.
No, I'm gonna shoot it.
Using your initiative.
Yep. I'm gonna use my initiative.
Are you in range?
Range on the pistol. Oh shit. Nope, can't do that.
You can move before
can
you
move.
shoot.
I can move. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna be stupid. Okay.
Move into.
I mean, you're
But
stepping into a smoke
He
cloud, so
already
you'll have
has
cover.
Well, you already have cover against him and a +2 additional difficulty, so he's rolling at max difficulty to hit you regardless.
Okay.
3.
Yep.
So
All right. I'm gonna move.
I understand its game mechanics, but I'm like, it's space. The range is unlimited. The range is until it hits the next thing.
Where's my thing?
Sir, I think
Whether we
Sorry.
hit or not.
think of it this way: it's not that it's a range at which it'll hit; it's the range at which accurately.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So moving past that wall.
Yep. I'm gonna
Cool.
step into the fog cloud and just aim wildly. Here we go.
Hardcover and 1 additional difficulty. 11 still hits.
Sweet.
Difficult still hit.
And you're no longer impaired, if that makes you feel any better.
Yes.
Oh, so
yes,
you no
it
longer have a
does.
difficult.
Yep, the impaired remains until the archer uses moving target, which it now has.
Okay. Now I can try and hit this guy. What was the... Let's see. So I don't have my difficulty anymore.
Nope.
Okay. It's a flat roll. Come on. Hey. It's against the bastion, but because I can't click, I forgot to click.
So targeting the Avenger,
Yes, targeting the Avenger. It's a 9.
that is unfortunately going to miss.
But it's a reliable one,
Damn it.
so it does 2 damage anyways.
Indeed.
Yep.
It's hilarious because 2 damage is what it rolled, which would have been 4 damage, but
That's my
Alrighty.
turn.
All right.
I'm done.
Oh, actually,
And you just
Does they-
throw 3 more enemies at us right now.
in response to shooting the Bastion, the Avenger will invoke Mimic Mesh.
well, they were shooting the Avenger.
Oh, right. Let's shoot.
That's why it missed.
Yep, okay.
Yep.
Never mind, that doesn't happen. Okay, so we're going to start with the Avenger, who will...
What you gonna do?
What are they going to do?
What
They
you
are going
gonna do? Besides be a
What's the
bitch.
range? Well, I think the Avenger is going to stabilize, clears heat and exposed, and reloads the shotgun.
Shoot.
Posed for so long and we couldn't kill it. We're bad at this.
Unfortunate.
I tried. I tried so hard.
So hard and got so far. And in the
But what
end-
it's going to do
doesn't-
is it's honk. The Avenger is going to move 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? Why? Oh, right, because of the knockback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moves is there and up 1. Is now above the Rainmaker. So move, full action, that's all they can do. The support ship will... What will you do?
Die.
Hopefully not.
Just that stupid Legend of Zelda CDI game, Ganon. You will die.
Move there and check range.
Oh, hey, look. An Enochian right in Icon can cast Giga Flare as their limit break.
Well, that's out of range. So.
Or Terra Flare. Or Meteor.
What the support is going to do is it's going to. Do I have a thing for this? I don't. So. Oh, yeah, you'll do. Your name is now. Your name is now Restock Drone. Or it's supposed to be.
Your name is Restock. Get used to it.
What is my purpose? Your purpose is to restock.
Oh God.
So it will drop that as a quick action. And for its other quick action, it is going to apply lock on to Drake. No, not jammed. Lock on. There we
Do
go.
it. Kill me.
And that leaves the other archer turret on the back here. They're going to do the same thing as their buddy, which is to shoot something within range 10, which is Tyra, who's in a smart cloud. So 3 difficulty on this. Gets a 1. So
Negative 2.
Complete miss, and then they're going to attempt to suppress Tyro instead.
It does still do reliable damage.
Oh, right. Reliable 3. Yes.
Arrow takes 3 damage.
Okay.
And is now impaired because the archer has suppressed them.
I don't like reminding the DM that he damages us even when he misses, but it's just in the essence of fairness.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to the system.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, it's a +1. Clown. Fine. Why don't you work anymore? I don't understand. Give me that. Thank you. All right, so top of the round. And this seems like a good place to call it for now. And we will pick up with round 3 of this combat.
Sure. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.